My name's Robert Bryndza, and I'm the author of veré, bajo, hielo. And what Spanish readers will find is a very exciting crime thriller with lots of twists and turns. They'll be questioning who the serial killer is throughout, and I think it's a very modern story about an investigator who's from Slovakia, who is looking into the deaths of young women in London. The first thing that came to me was the idea of the body under the ice, and then I find writing female characters much more interesting than writing male characters. I'm not sure why. I just think women are much more complex, much more interesting, and I think that people's reactions to women are much more extreme as well. They want to put women into categories and boxes, and so her character came to me quite quickly after the original idea of finding the girl under the ice. Well, I'm a huge fan of Thomas Harris, who wrote The Silence of the Lambs and Red Dragon and Hannibal, and the character of Clarice Starling was in the front of my mind because I think she's a fantastic character of a female police agent. I was also a big fan of Prime Suspect, the television series, and the character of Jane Tennyson, who's also a female police officer who works in London. And they were the two characters that really inspired me to write this novel. In The Girl in the Ice, the first victim is a young woman who is found under a sheet of ice in a London park, and it turns out that this woman is from a very influential family. And then a second body and a third body show up, and they're killed in exactly the same circumstances, but these women are from a very poor background. They're Eastern European women who came to London, to England, on the promise of having a job, and it turns out that they came for different reasons, and they were forced into prostitution. So what I wanted to explore with this book is how in Britain and with the class system, the death of Andrea Douglas Brown, the girl from the influential family, is taken very seriously, and as a murder should. Then the subsequent dead bodies of the girls who are from the poorer backgrounds, they're not treated with the same importance. And the character of Erica Foster, she is herself Slovak. She came to England to learn English when she was just 18 years old. So I wanted to explore that through her eyes, to explore the class system in Britain through the eyes of an Eastern European who now has a position of authority. And Erica is now in a position to actually do something about it, and she is in a position to fight against the establishment, which is trying to cover up certain details of this murder. It's a city I lived in for 13 years. I set the book in South London, which is a very rough, crime-filled area of London. It's very multicultural. It's quite a dangerous place to live. It's quite an exciting place to live. So I took my experience of living there, and I just thought it would be a really fantastic place to set a crime novel. In the second book, they'll hear more about Erica's life, about what happened before with her husband. She also goes up against a very original, unique kind of serial killer. I don't want to say too much about it, but it's in The Night Stalker. It's set in the heat of the summer in London, and there is a person who is breaking into people's houses late at night and watching them and then killing them in their own houses, and Erica has to find out who this person is. Well, yes, I would love to see it turned into a TV series or a film. There is a few actresses that I think would be fantastic. I think Margot Robbie could be very interesting as Erica Foster. I also think Kristen Wiig, who normally does comedy, but I think that she has certain qualities that she could be very interesting. Also, at the same time, I could be surprised, and there could be an actress who comes along who no one knows about who would be fantastic as Erica Foster. As long as the stories are, as long as an adaptation was true to the book I've written, I'm happy for anyone good to play the character.